Have you ever wanted to come to Israel? You might not know this, but Israel in 5 was created by Meir Panim, an organization that for decades has been supporting Holocaust survivors in Israel, supporting soldiers all over this country, as well as individuals and families living beneath the poverty level. And now they are offering a raffle in honor of the upcoming holiday of Purim. The winner of this raffle will get a free trip to Israel. You'll get to explore the historical and spiritual roots of this land. You will visit communities in the south that were devastated and affected greatly on October 7th. You'll meet with soldiers. You'll visit Meir Panim centers all over this country. And my favorite part, I must say, you'll get a free tour with me, which I'm really, really excited about. So go to Israel5.org/raffle, buy raffle tickets. All the money goes to supporting Meir Panim's essential services and activities and programs here in this land. There's a clickable link in the description, and I hope to see you here. This week, we're beginning a new book of the Torah, the third book of the Torah, the Book of Leviticus, in which we learn all about the inner workings of the Mishkan, or the Tabernacle. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kibur Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. The Book of Leviticus, talking about the Levites, the tribe of Levi, right? The Levites and the Kohanim, the priests, who did the work, the avodah, the worship inside the tabernacle, and then later on in Jerusalem in the temple that stood there. And after many weeks of learning about the construction of their tabernacle, now we're learning about what happened inside. And specifically, the main thing that took place there every single day were sacrifices, right? The Kohanim, the priests, they would bring the sacrifices. The Levites, they were playing the music every time there was a sacrifice happening, and they were accompanying and helping out in all different kinds of ways. And the sacrifice was the main feature of their tabernacle, and again, later on in the temple in Jerusalem. And it's interesting, because in Hebrew, the word for sacrifice is Korban, right? And that word Korban comes from the Hebrew word Karov, which means close, which teaches us that the main idea of the sacrifice that was brought every single day with the sacrifices, right, was to bring the people of Israel close to God. And now it's hard in our modern day world to understand sacrifices at all, especially how can it bring someone closer to God to bring an animal and put the animal up on an altar. But back in those days, thousands of years ago, that was the main form of worship that humans did to come close to the divine. And so this idea of a korban, karov, a sacrifice is all about coming close, that a person brings something that belongs to him or her, and through that giving, through that bringing, is bringing him or herself closer to God as a result. Both in this week's Torah portion and in the weeks ahead, we're going to be learning about different kinds of sacrifices that were brought. I want to focus on one or two. One was a sin offering. Right? If somebody did something wrong, they broke a law in the Torah, they had to bring a sin offering. Right? It's their way in the ancient world of saying sorry and committing to not doing that again. Right? And so this teaches, awareness of one's actions and responsibility, and realizing that there are implications and ramifications of one's actions, and that we have the responsibility to look at ourselves and be honest with ourselves, but that we also have the ability and the opportunity to always fix. Right, to always heal any brokenness that we brought to other people, to the world, right? That the Torah is always giving us that opportunity and teaching us, yes, you messed up, you're human, we get it, let's move on and let's rectify that. And when you do that, when you bring this sin offering, it actually literally is changing the situation, transforming it, right, from something negative to something positive, moving on with that renewed motivation and inspiration to not repeat the past mistake, but to only and hopefully be better and act better. That was the sin offering. Another offering that we learn about that was brought in the sanctuary, the tabernacle, and later on in the temple, was a thanksgiving offering, which was to say, thank you, God, right? Thank you for the goodness in my life. Something great happened. I want to say thank you. And that's really teaching us the value, the important value of gratitude, of appreciation, of recognition of the good in our lives. Right? We have this ability sometimes and this tendency to just focus on the bad and to complain and say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. And even if we don't have everything we want or even everything we need, right, there's always things that we do have. There's always abundance in our lives. There's always things that we should be and can be grateful for. and to focus on that and to realize all that goodness. And that will transform us as well. So these different kinds of sacrifices, these different kinds of offerings that were brought in the tabernacle thousands of years ago were really about transforming the person and helping the person to become even better, more grateful, more aware of his or her actions, more aware of the implications of their everyday actions. And the tabernacle, as we said before, was really like a microcosm of this world, and also a place in which to connect deeper to God, right? And that goes back to the word for sacrifice in Hebrew, Kurban, which comes from close, right? It's really about coming close to God, but it's also on top of that, or within that, together with that, coming close to our best selves.